What's up, everybody? This is Dallas Doan here. Today we're gonna try something a little bit different. I do have a little bit of more energy today than normal, so today I'm actually gonna be this is kind of like a live stream type of thing where I'm gonna just commentate while I work, and so this won't be time lapsed. Hopefully, this is gonna be okay with everybody. I've been been studying my uh, YouTube analytics, and I've been noticing that these time-lapse videos that I do, they're about like 7 to 10 minutes long, and people are literally only watching about a minute of it. So I realized that people just might not be finding them that useful. So what I'll probably end up doing, if I can, is if I do have some energy, I will try and actually do more of these commentary type of things. Now, right away, I'm noticing that this overlay is actually covering a lot of my little hotkey stuff at the very bottom here on my screen, and my webcam is actually in the way of some shortcuts that I do. So I'm just going to quickly adjust this here. Hopefully that's going to be a little bit better, and that's really good to know that it's actually covering the bottom there. All right, so here is the Stylized Dagger. Also, let me know if you guys like this format as well, and if you kind of want to mix, like you want some of the time-lapse stuff and you want this commentary stuff, then great. Regardless of what happens, if you like it or not, the time-lapse is nicer for me if I just want to sit down and focus and not have to worry about commentating and telling you what it is that I'm doing. Or sometimes it's super late at night, my daughter's like close by and I can't have my mic on. The time-lapse videos are a lot easier for me to produce consistently, whereas these live commentary ones are a little bit more difficult because I need to make sure that the laundry machine isn't going on next to me, so that it's not catching noises and stuff like that in the background. All right, well, I'm gonna stop blabbering here and start focusing on this actual model. Now, the very first thing I want to tell you all, Antari, I just want to give you a quick shout out here. Sent me this really awesome kind of tips on how to create really nice kind of protruding edges, and then after I saw that, I went and I tried it. It was absolute great help, and then I also went out and I purchased Fanny's. Is an artist on Blizzard Games. I purchased I'm pretty sure it's she. I've purchased her tutorials and just been watching it and kind of been learning little tips and tricks. And it was something that I've noticed about her style, and what she does is that she only uses essentially two different types of brushes. She uses mostly the dam standard and the flattened brush. And just watching her work on her models with just those two brushes amazed me. And then I just watched very closely on how she was using them, and so that's how I've been getting a lot better results on a lot of my newer pieces. So let's carry on here. We have these two pieces today that I'm going to be working on. So this bottom piece that's kind of covering the orb. Let me just quickly show you what I'm looking at here in terms of, oh, no, that's not what I want. This viewer is, okay, come on. Let's see, there. So we're working on essentially this part here. I always, as usual, will have my reference on my second screen, and any artist who's working should also be doing the same thing. So let's get right into this here. So I'm noticing that, so this edge here, so I just pressed Alt and left click, I guess, with the pen to select that subtool, and I'm noticing that these three are actually different subtools, and I think in the end I will merge them together as one piece, because I feel like they are part of one piece. It's just the way that I had it modeled originally in Maya. I had it separated so that it was easier for me to sculpt. But yeah, so let's go right to that. So it's blade part 8, and let's just kind of isolate it a bit here. It's at 68 points. We're gonna want more than that. Let's check the wireframe. So I just press Shift F there to show the wireframe, and let's quickly do. I'm going to delete the lowers. Then we're going to Dynamesh this bad boy. I find that the 2048 resolution has been pretty good so far with what I've been working with, and that gives me 95,000 points, which let me see if that's going to be okay. I'm going to use the flatten brush here and just flatten this out. My brush is a little bit too big. I'm just going to lower that down. And I'm going to want to use my lazy mouse here to kind of get some nice clean lines. I'm just going to kind of strain this out a tad bit to kind of give it that nice, oh, I forgot to turn on my symmetry. So let's turn on symmetry first. So it should be on the Z axis, perfect. Now there's a couple things, like you can use trim dynamic. This is typically what I did in the past, and this is going to work as well, right? And sometimes it actually gives you a nicer flatter lines, which is what you want sometimes, right? So using that can work as well. So that actually looks quite nice, right? Just to kind of get that nice flat edge there, right? So now if I go Shift and I click on it, it brings back everything, and you can kind of see how it looks, right? Shift click again to just isolate the selection and the visibility, and then let's just kind of get this nice edge going as well. And I love using the lazy mouse just to kind of give me a little bit more control. I'm not using a Cintiq, right? So getting accuracy on a lot of these is difficult to do. And then I can quickly do this here, and I just want to do a lighter trim, so I'm not putting as much pressure on, so I can just get this nice little softer edge here. And again, you could just use the flatten as well. So let's use the flatten here, and might not even. Okay, so that might not work actually. Hold on here. Let me see. Can I use the Alt? So I can use the Alt to do it the other way. Another brush that I really like using is the Orbs. Oh, I realized that it didn't actually load up my. It didn't load up. Oh yeah, this is also 2020.1.1 as well. Just recently upgraded to that. Okay, so it didn't load up my. So I'm just going to quickly. There's a few Orbs brushes that I really like using as well. Where is it? Hold on, sorry guys. Sorry everybody. Let's see here. Let's go to my Dropbox and public. Let's go to ZBrush stuff. Go to brushes. I really like using. Where's the flatten protect? Orb flatten edge protect. I really like using this one as well. Okay, well it's not doing what I was hoping it would do, but okay, maybe Maybe flatten is what I want here. Let's see. Let me turn off lazy mouse. Let me just trying to get this to okay. It's not doing what I want. Maybe I want a polish, PO polish here, and let's just see if this will help polish up here. Is that what I want? No, not what I want. Okay. Undo, undo, undo. Okay, for now, that's essentially what I want. Okay, now if I really want... So I'm looking at the reference right now. There's this really... Actually, there's supposed to be a really nice line going on over here. So let's go with the... So let's try the flatten this time around to see if I can get the similar result as the trim. And I'm seeing that it's not really giving me the same result. I'm also gonna actually subdivide this to get more resolution. I think that's gonna help out a lot more. I should have done that actually before I had started sculpting. So I'm just gonna use the trim dynamic. Yeah, see, so it's giving me a lot more resolution here, which is giving me a nicer, more sharp result. Just gonna draw that line there. There we go. And then if I really want to, and I should, go back and actually run through these again just to make it look a little bit cleaner and nicer. So I'll have to go and do that right now. Try and be as precise as possible. There you go. There we go. And gonna go through this bottom edge here as best as possible. Perfect. Okay, cool. And then there's like this really nice gouge that's going on here. So let's go get the orbs slash. Let's go orb slash 0, 1, and then we'll just add a nice big, gash happening like right there. Okay, and then let's bring back everything into view, and I feel like it needs to be bigger, that gash. Let's make this a lot bigger, something like that. Just because if you're gonna put that detail there, you want it to be like a nice big detail. If it's small, it's not going to show up. So that's going to be a lot nicer there. All right, let's quickly save this subtool here. Let's go up here, Stylized Zbrush subtool, and there we have it. All right. So there's not too much in terms of like detail going on inside this area. The next thing that should be up. So what we can do is we can add a little bit more kind of detail. Oh, no, sorry, that's not what I want. Let's go trim dynamic or orbs flatten, and we can kind of start to add a little bit more like imperfections on here. There we go. Just kind of give it a little bit more character. You can also kind of do that as well. Just around certain areas, just kind of, again, give it like imperfections. There we go. And then let's get this little bottom part here. So right away I see like a little go standard. Let's go drag, and there's like a little hole, right? So there's like a little hole here, and let's just quickly see if we can. No, that's not strong enough. We're probably gonna want something like this. No, it needs to be stronger. See if I. No, that's not good enough. Let's try something like that. Is that enough? That still doesn't feel like it's enough. Okay, let's try clay buildup, but let's use a circle instead. And let's see if this allows us. So it kind of helps build that little ball up, which is what we want. So okay, actually, let's back up here. Let's back up. First off, before you go and you do that, make sure you're in geometry. We're at only 30k points right now. We want to delete lower. We're going to actually put polish on. Let's go 2048 resolution. Dynamesh that bad boy. You got 50Ks now. Let's divide it to give us a little bit more, even more resolution. I'm noticing that this is now floating, which is not what we want. So let's back this up just a tad bit here. All right, let's go back to LED division 1, and let's go and move this down a tad bit. We're going to center subtool. Let's push this down a little bit so it's crashing through. Now we can quickly go up back to subdivision 4, delete lower. So then now it's crashing through the other mesh, and then we're going to do the Dynamesh here, polish, and then we're at 50k now. We're going to subdivide that. Okay, now we're going to be able to work on this, and now we can kind of build this circle up. Now I'm noticing that I forgot to activate my symmetry, which is why I have that there, so that it's visible to me when I'm working in ZBrush. I can see when the symmetry is on and off, and that's really, really helpful. Okay, I think that's a pretty decent circle. Maybe a little bit more. Okay, and then we're gonna go to Dam Standard, and we are going to start drawing out. It looks like just like a bunch of like some leaves here. So there's one. I'm gonna make this a lot smaller. We're gonna crank up the lazy mouse. Okay, so let's draw the leaf. So there's one leaf here. So yes, I'm using a Dam Standard, just the default settings with the lazy mouse on, and I'm just kind of drawing the outline of the leaf. And not only am I drawing the outline of the leaf, I'm drawing the inside as well, something like that. And then I'm gonna go over it. So now I'm gonna go press Alt to do the opposite, to bump up the things around it, to kind of give you that nice little lip and the extrude and the protrusion, right? So that might be a little bit too much. Okay, hold on. Okay, let's not protrude that part. Let's protrude the leaf part. And I'm actually going to crank this down to the draw size to 1. And I'm just going to do that to it. I'm just going to protrude pretty much the edge here of this leaf. Right? And that should kind of give it that nice outline. Okay. And then I feel like I need to kind of sink this part down a little bit around the circle. to kind of help make that little circle bulb thing in the middle pop out a little bit more. So I'm just going to draw a little circle there. Okay, hold on. It's always so difficult to make sure that you get the perfect sculpt. So you're gonna have to redo it. Okay, and then hold on, let me just zoom into this reference here. See what that looks like. So that looks just like, okay. So these leaves are kind of going like that. So it's almost like it's flaring out. Right, so something like it looks fatter though, so I gotta make this a little bit fatter. So something like that. I'm gonna connect that leaf there like that. No, I don't like it. Okay, it feels like it's almost arcing up and then going down like that, and then this kind of, there we go. Okay, that's definitely a lot more what that looks like. And then we're going to kind of do a similar thing here. And then down like that. I'm going to connect this there. Okay, so it's going to look something like that. And then this one looks like it's been kind of squeezed in a tad bit. This leaf here. There we go. And then we're going to have the leaf kind of go like that. Okay, and then now we need to just kind of do the protruding out part of it. Kind of help sell it. And then we're good to go. And again, I'm just using damn standard here. I'm just gonna follow the leaf. As best as possible. Okay. All right. So it's not perfect, right? I'm actually looking at the reference now, and that bottom leaf is actually a lot fatter and bigger, and the bulb in the middle is actually a lot bigger too. It's a small detail. Let me drink my tea and let me think about this. It's such a minor detail, but it's gonna bug me. I think it's gonna bug me. Right? I think it's gonna bug me. So I need to actually redo this. Let me see. How far back can I go? Okay, I can go back pretty far. Okay, let's go back all the way to here. Okay, and we're gonna build up. So this thing needs to be bigger. It needs to be something like that. Bigger. It needs to be even bigger than that. Okay. It needs to be even bigger. So let's go 7. Okay, something like that. Yeah. See, so that size is going to be better. I wish I had taken a screenshot so we can kind of compare the differences. So I'm sorry guys, you guys literally just watched like 20 minutes of me working on something and I completely scrapped it and I'm doing it all over again. But it's just sometimes that happens, right? As an artist, you're working on it and sometimes you let it slide and you just say it's fine, right? And you move on. But I it I know that it's going to bug me, so I need to fix it. It was going to bug me 100%. It was going to bug me. Uh, right, especially after looking at the reference image, and I should have looked at it a lot more closely. So again, just something to kind of keep in mind and learn from my mistake there, right? I'm gonna bring this down to maybe 40. Lazy mouse is getting a little bit too intense, and I'm just going to study this a little bit more. Okay, so yeah, so it's gonna be kind of right there. We go, and then this one goes like that. See, so now it just has a little bit more pop to it. It has a little bit more significance to it, whereas before, in the first time that I had done it, I felt like, after I zoomed out, it was such a little small tiny detail, and it is a small detail in the grand scheme of things, but looking at the reference, the concept, when you looked at it, it definitely had a lot more significance than the size that I had it before, which made it look like it was just a little small detail that was added in. So yeah, so I'm sorry you guys had to kind of waste a little bit of time there, but maybe that's useful for a lot of you. Maybe that's useful to see that sometimes you do something the first time and it doesn't look correct and you want to make it better. And there are times where you're just like, forget it. You know what I mean? It's like, it's such a small little detail. You can let it slide. But for me, that was a big enough detail that I couldn't let that one slide. And I knew that it was going to bug me. All right, so now I'm just kind of redoing these little leafy bits here. There we go. And then just gonna do all right. So this leaf is a little bit more of a weirder shape. So I'm gonna try and emulate it as best as I can here. All right, and then I'm gonna bring this down to draw size 0 or draw size 1, and I'm just going to add the protrusion to it to kind of help make the leaves pop out. And then I'm going to do the same for this right side leaf. Okay, there we go. Now this leaf looks really this leaf is not no. Okay, I'm gonna just stick to the standard leaf here because that leaf did not look very appealing. And sometimes it's hard to kind of, you do your best to emulate what you see in the concept, but sometimes your ideas can improve on what's been given to you. So yeah, so I'm gonna go with that instead. I feel like that probably looks a little bit nicer because I can't seem to emulate exactly what's on the concept there. Okay, so there we go. I'm not a fan of these little side leaves too, though, to be honest. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna redo these side leaves. I'm just gonna put my own spin on it to make this look a little bit nicer. Let me see if I can flatten. I'm gonna kill the lazy mouse here. Okay, there we go. I'm just gonna damp standard, and let's just create my own leaves here. Right, and then I'm just gonna do something like this. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I think that looks a little bit nicer. And again, like, this is such a little detail. Most people probably won't even like look at it or even notice it, but because we're working so closely on it, like, it sticks out a little bit more. But yeah, okay, I think that's gonna be fine. I don't want to spend any more time on this part, just because again, in the grand scheme of things, it's such a little small little detail that's probably not gonna be worth me dwelling over too much here. And then I'm gonna quickly just add just a little small like little detail, something like that, just to kind of give it a little bit more depth. And I probably will do a little trim dynamic here. So let's do a little trim dynamic here. Just kind of give it the nice little edge. Because I feel like it was losing its shape. It had like a really weird soft kind of edge to it. So I want to kind of give it the nice, more sharp edge here. Now I don't know how long these videos should be. Because right now I'm already past 30 minutes. I think 30 minutes is already a little bit too long. So I should probably end this part pretty soon here. And let me quickly just do some more trim dynamics here. Turn off or protect. Sorry, just do a little or protect here. Get some more nice little shapes and imperfections here. And then we're gonna call this part. Let's quickly save it. So yeah, so thank you for watching. Let me know what your thoughts are on this type of content. If you like this a little bit more, if you feel like this has a lot more value. For me personally, I think it does add a little bit more value versus just me throwing in some music and time-lapsing things. Obviously this does take up a lot more energy and a lot more time for me, but if people do find this a lot more valuable, then this is kind of how I would like to switch over to doing things, or at least adding this to the rotation a lot more often, because like I said, the time-lapse videos is not something that's gonna go away, just because of how easy it is for me to produce those type of videos versus creating something like this. So please, if you like what you saw, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and Let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments below. All right, I'll see you all next time. Bye now.